What's up, citizens of Gotham? My name is Graham Elwood. You are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. How is everybody doing? Let me just get got that up there. What's up, citizens? Oh, there they are. How is everybody? All right. Thank you for watching on Rockfin. Thank you for watching on all right. No, that's not it. Keeps slowing up. That's just not processing correctly. All right. Thank you for tuning in on all the various platforms. Dave Burt, hello, how are you? What is up? Dave is watching, and some other folks are watching over on the Rockfin. Oh, I gotta take that down. Boom. That was the way you can support the show. Swan. Just go to swanbitcoin.grahamelwood. Swanbitcoin.com/Graham Elwood, and you buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. It's on sale right now. Bitcoin is on sale. Hope everybody had a decent weekend. A lot of insanity is going down right now. I can't even grasp how crazy things are. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know where you are, where you're at in the world. Hold on. Let me know where you're at in the world. It's been a crazy. It's always good times in crazy town. It's the United States of America. It's crazy town. United States of America is crazy town. Yeah, it's people are losing their shit over Mamdani maybe winning, which is kind of great. It's so funny. Like, the conservatives, they make fun of, like, when liberals were like, if Trump wins, I'm moving out, Ellen DeGeneres or whatever. And then they say the same things. I'm leaving New York if Mamdani wins. It's so funny to me. It's so funny. But everybody losing it is kind of great. But I wanted to find this one video. where Kash Patel, like in 2023, is like, why are these guys spending our money on the jet? And then he, who, Trump just endorsed Cuomo. Here we go.
I'm just saying.
America is a corpse. Liberals are cheering the maggots and conservatives are cheering the corpse. Wow, that is a fantastic way to put it. That is basically sums it up. America is a corpse. Yeah. It's hilarious to watch how crazy America is. It's mind-boggling to watch it. And I've given up sort of like having any sort of, people are gonna pull it around. I don't know. I'd love to. I hope so, but I don't think Americans are too addicted to this whole situation. All right, I'll be back with our first hot, fresh segment. So Kash Patel 2 years ago was like, why are we spending money on federal employees using a private jet? And then he used his private jet, or not his private, but a federal jet. And then he just canceled the tracking of it because you're allowed to track it. Because in a supposed democracy, we have transparency. Oh, my name is Graham Elwood. This is the Bitcoin Vigilante. I love seeing how insane this country gets. I do not like both parties, and this is why. They both are so full of it. They run on a campaign of we're going to stop this and this. They get into office and they do what both like. And I don't know why the American people keep thinking this time it's going to be different. Like, okay, but here's what Kash Patel, director of the FBI, remember, this is the guy who also 2 years ago was like, we're going to round up everyone who's on Epstein's list. And then earlier this year just does it. He's got those crazy, he's like, oh, the list is empty. Why are we keep talking about this? Oh, so this is what he said in 2023. Okay. This is what he's saying. And this is like, yeah.
Fair, and I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying Chris Ray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just some thought into them.
Let's hear that again. This is what he said. He's like, this is every time the plane takes off. This is in 2023. Every time the plane takes off, it's $15,000. And this is, and he goes, maybe we don't need a government-funded G5. Well,
Fair, and I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying Chris Ray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just some thought into them. Fair, and I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the
defund everything guy, which is then what they end up doing, defund everything. But like, let me show you this. So then this is what he said in 2023. I'm not the defund guy. I'm but maybe he doesn't need a G5 jet, right? Maybe he doesn't need that. So this is his jet now. The aircraft NJ07J is not available for public tracking per request from the owner operator. This is FBI Director Kash Patel has just halted public tracking of the government-owned jet. These guys are so hypocritical, and they just, I don't know, do they assume everybody is that dumb? Is that what it is? They just assume the American people, and even the people that voted for Trump, he's a Trump appointee, so they just, I don't know. Americans are addicted to the red versus blue thing. It's astonishing to me. You know, we're going to cut this, and everyone's excited. We're cutting SNAP benefits, and people use food stamps to buy. No, you don't. I was on food stamps 2 years ago during the strikes. I went on it. And I was like, oh man, it's very restrictive. You can only use it at certain grocery stores. You can't buy, you can't buy pre-made food. You can't buy alcohol. You can't buy cigarettes with it. All that stuff is a lie. I mean, there's some fast food restaurants that allow you to use it. And people say, oh, they're using their SNAP benefits to buy Jack in the Box or to buy crappy food. That's not the fault of SNAP or food benefits. That's a problem in America. We have an obesity epidemic. That's not food stamps' fault that Americans, when they're hungry, choose to eat sugary, crappy food. That's actually, the sugar lobby has a lot to do with that. If you watch the documentary Fed Up, you can see how the sugar lobby has pushed. They acted exactly like the cigarette lobby. In fact, if you go pick up any food item in your cupboard right now that has in the back where it says percentage of daily values, you'll notice that the percentage of sugar, it'll say how many, it'll say like this many grams of fat, this many carbohydrates, this many grams of sugar. And to the right of it always lists the percentage. But in the sugar lobby had that removed. So it won't tell you the percentage, because oftentimes in so many of our food products, it'll be like 250% of the daily allowance of sugar. You shouldn't have sugar. Sugar immediately triggers the insulin response, which is why America has an obesity epidemic. That's why we have that. It's not because of food. It's not because of food stamps. It's because the sugar lobby has lied to all of us, and they paid off. Tell me if this sounds familiar. They paid off politicians to pass laws that benefit them financially. When everything is for-profit healthcare, for-profit everything, media, for-profit prison system, everything is for sale. And getting into politics is the greatest scam you can ever run. They all do insider trading. You get to fly around on private jets that our tax dollars pay for. And because the government can print money, if you watch my MMT playlist, just explaining what the government can print money, so why are we even paying taxes? We don't even need to pay taxes. So when they say, how are we going to pay for all of this socialism? Rah, rah, rah. The same way you pay for all these wars. How about that? So what's it going to be? You don't want to fund all these wars? They're all the filthy liar. Kash Patel is just as much of a maggot-ridden liar as Pelosi, as any of them. They're all, Nancy Pelosi, her and her husband are worth over $100 million. It's all from insider trading. Everyone in the House and the Senate, Republican, Democrat, they all do insider trading. Just go to capitaltrades.org. It's the single greatest scam in the world. And when you find out about MMT and you're like, and they can just print this, so they don't even need our taxes? Taxation is theft. They just steal our money. They steal our money. And then they put these just psychopathic liars. He's a crazy liar. Unbelievable, these people. And then Americans just are drunk on the red versus blue. Although there's a new poll out, 47% of Americans identify as third-party voters. 47%. Because they're fed up with this crap. But there's no real leadership. The Democrats are horrible. They're not going to do anything. We'll see what happens, guys. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. They just keep lying to us. And listen to their camp. It's like Kash Patel saying we're going to ground this jet if I'm director, the blah, blah, blah. And then why does he get put in? Because he knows that he'll play ball. And now they're not arresting Epstein. Because the file's now empty. The file's empty. Oh, okay. Go back to sleep, America. The file's empty. Kash Patel is just halted tracking of which we should, in a democracy, we should be able to track, which you can do this. Capital Trades, you can track it. I always talk about opensecrets.org, nonprofit, nonpartisan website that tracks donations, funding from various groups. You can see who gets money from AIPAC, any lobby group you can see. You can see. Or not. Just keep watching the CNN or Fox and just say my team good, other team bad. I think the Democrats are going to save us. We got to take back the House. Who's we? My friends say that. Who's we? The Democrats? Those guys. Okay, man. All right. Okay. Follow money, connect the dots, get the truth. Shave your knuckles for justice. Folks, you can, of course, support the show with a super chat. All right. Let's get our next segment ready. Boom. Thank you, Dave, for the tip. Shave your knuckles for justice, Dave Burt. Boston says hi. Rough time. Yes. Sabby Sabs like your show. Oh, that's cool. I got to get her on the show. I'm not that in U.S. government. Graham's anti-two party, anti-duopoly take in 2018, 2020 by then was accurate. All right, the video worked. All right, thank you, Dave, for supporting the show, man. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get our next hot, fresh segment queued up. Let's get our next hot, fresh segment queued up. Okay, there's that. There's this one. Boom. Like, share, subscribe, everybody. Put that out there, that all of those things help. Please go over to my new channel. Bitcoin Hollywood. I just posted the Detective Kent Stryker, the Hello Junkie. All right, I'll be back in less than 10 seconds for the next. Bitcoin price drops to as low as 106. Currently, it's at 108. What's causing this? And is a bull run on the horizon? Cynthia Loomis, author of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill, says yes. Hi, my name is Graham Mell with the Bitcoin Vigilante. Thank you for watching. That you can support our show right there on chain. There's other ways to support down there with your fiat. So what is causing this? This was in CoinDesk, which if you're new to the Bitcoin space and just want to learn more about it, this is a great resource. They're not a paid advertiser of any way, but they just give kind of basic news about Bitcoin and crypto in general. But I'm just a Bitcoin maxi. I don't follow the other coins anymore. Bitcoin slides below 106 as cryptos tumble, nearing October crash lows. Woo! Let's get on the readers for this one. The downturn in price ripped across derivatives markets, liquidating over $1 billion in leveraged trading positions across all digital assets Monday, CoinGlass data shows. A late weekend decline in cryptocurrency sped up in U.S. morning trade Monday, with Bitcoin dropping more than 4% to 105.5, and major altcoins like Ether and Solana falling 6 to 10%. This is the key point here. This might not, you might be like, Graham, what does this mean? Over $1 billion in leveraged trading positions were liquidated across digital assets. This is one of the things that causes the short-term volatility, right? Despite the downturn, some, including Tom Lee, remain optimistic about Bitcoin's potential to reach 200,000 and Ether by 7 by year end. This is all the short-term stuff. The short-term volatility this is what creates short-term volatility, right? And this is why I'm not a day trader. I'll just be honest with you. This is why I don't like day trading. This is why, because it's all this volatility and they're leveraging this and they're just trying to make that. That's when it's like the stock market, which is the boomer casino. I didn't coin that term, the boomer casino, but like, this is why I just buy it and hold, because in the long run, it will go up. There's no other asset. There's no other investment, anything that has consistently gone up over the last 15 years the way Bitcoin has. Nothing. So, and here's why. And this is the thing I've talked about. I've talked about that if the United States starts buying Bitcoin, then China and Russia will have to do this. So who agrees with me on this? Cynthia Loomis, the senator from North Dakota, that is in agreement. She's the author of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill. So this is what she said recently in an interview. And this is very, very significant because she's actually in a position to do this. She is the one, I believe, who advised Trump. Trump doesn't understand. He doesn't understand Bitcoin. Let's just be honest. He doesn't understand it. He has a meme coin, which is a scam coin. So, but it's people like Cynthia Loomis that do truly understand it. She gets it. And so when she's saying this, she's the advisor. She's the one that advised Trump to go to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. And if Harris and the Democrats would have been even just a slightly pro Bitcoin and pro crypto, they would have had a chance of winning. There's 50 million crypto owners in America. And of course, the Democrats turn their face to them, like typical. And then say everybody's a racist and a sexist, even though Harris was helping fund a genocide. Okay.
Wouldn't it be fun if the next arms race was not for weapons, it was for Bitcoin? Wouldn't it be fun if the US is buying Bitcoin and it scares China and Russia so they start buying Bitcoin, and we have an arms race over Bitcoin instead of over weapons? That we're as globally, we're challenging each other to have a secure store of value. Wouldn't it be fun if the next arms race was not?
That's, again, she's an advisor to Trump. She helped draft the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve Bill, which was significant. And this is one of the promises of Bitcoin, why I like it so much, is it promises a world, without war. If you read Satoshi's white paper, you'll see what he was talking about, or she or they or whoever created it. But it's And this is why I say I would try to buy a little. And I know times are tough and people have a hard time, and there's not a lot of retail investors. What retail is just regular folks like you and I buying Bitcoin. There's not a lot of retail in Bitcoin right now. And a big reason is because the economy is so bad, not just in America, but around the world, where people don't have an extra 500 to 1,000, or they just don't have any extra amount of money to spend. So I get that. But I would get a little if you can, because eventually America is going to buy this. And especially if the economy starts going down, which it will, the price of Bitcoin will go down initially with it. And then that's when America is going to say, oh, we need to buy a bunch of Bitcoin to get the value of the dollar back up. And then China, as she said, China and Russia will have to buy it. So this is happening, man. And a year ago, Bitcoin, right before the election, was about 60K. And I was like, it's going to go up. And people think I'm nuts, but I ain't wrong. So, and I'm once again, I'm this political, I'm politically homeless. I'm a Bitcoin leftist. All these, I see a lot of these big Bitcoiners are like, if Mamdani wins, I'm leaving New York. You sound just like all of the liberals that said, I'm moving to Canada if Trump's president or whatever. So, but it's being a Bitcoin. I always just find the most obscure niche to be in. Anyway, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Support our show any way you can, guys. I've reached out to several like sort of Bitcoin companies and streaming platforms, and they're like, I don't know that they want me, because I think they're still they do a lot of preaching to the choir too. And they want every Bitcoiner, they want me to just sit there and be a libertarian and say socialism is bad. And I'm not doing that. That's not who I am. And I see Bitcoin as a very socialist thing. Bitcoin miners own the means of production. Bitcoin, if its true goal and dream is realized, where people use it to, it becomes the world's reserve currency, then and regular people and the 2.5 billion people that are unbanked can use Bitcoin, then it's significant. It can help change the world and defund the central banks that control the wars and all that other stuff. I see it as this tool for activism. That's what I see it as. But the lefty activists don't think Bitcoin, they don't get it, they don't like it, whatever. And the Bitcoin people are mainly conservative and libertarian. So I'm in this. Anyway, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Thanks for supporting our show. People just want me to say the same thing over and over again. I can't do it. I gotta say what I believe. So shave your knuckles for justice. What's up? All right. Let's just do our last segment here. We'll talk about the election. Whoops. Trump just endorsed Cuomo in the race for New York's mayor, which is happening soon. And why I support Mamdani? Because he's been attacked by Democrats and Republicans. When he first won, Kristen Gillibrand said, oh, he's an anti-Semite, just because he said he wouldn't go to Israel his first day as mayor. Why would a mayor go to any foreign country? It doesn't matter. It's not about Israel. It's about anywhere. What if he would have said his first day of mayor, I'm going to Mecca? People would have lost it. They would have lost it. He wants to give New Yorkers affordable housing and free public transportation and stuff to make their lives easier, because New York is so unaffordable, and there's crime and homelessness, and that's been under a Republican mayor and Democratic mayor. He blew the Democratic Party away. Now, anytime you're a threat to the two-party system, both parties will line up against you. So Trump, by the way, my name is Graham Elwood. This is the Bitcoin Vigilante. Thanks for watching. Trump endorsing him, endorsing Cuomo, shows you that that's what George Carlin said. It's a big party and you ain't in it. Remember now, Trump and the Clintons were very good friends. You know, and all these billionaires, rich people saying, if Mamdani wins, I'm leaving. It's hilarious. You're just as much of the crybabies like the liberals, like Ellen DeGeneres saying, I'm leaving America if Trump wins. Rosie O'Donnell's moving. You're no different. You're just a bunch of crybabies. You're a bunch of, even worse, because it's all these billionaires on social media, on Twitter specifically, saying socialism is bad. Oh no. Well, you know what's socialist, you guys? The fire department, the police department, schools, public transportation, all these things that these rich guys don't have. When did any of these rich guys ever, when was the last time they worried how to pay their bills? When was the last time any of them was like, they had $1,000 in their bank account and $1,500 worth of bills and went, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They don't know what that is. They don't know what that is. And they're old, out of touch people that think when they hear the word social, he's a democratic socialist, they think the Soviet Union is going to tell you what factory to work in. That's not what democratic socialism is. It means you can be rich, just no one can be poor. You can have a big fancy house with rooms you don't use, just no one can live on the street. That's all. That's all. You're like, I don't want to have to pay taxes. You guys don't want to have to do anything. You want to just have everything catered to you. You don't care that anybody in the streets are suffering. When was the last time any of these rich guys rode the subway in New York? When was the last time? You're in some penthouse with a private elevator. You take a limo to your private airport. You don't have to worry about this thing. Somebody buys your groceries for you. It doesn't matter. You go to 5-star Michelin. You don't know what it's like to work. You don't know what it's like to go be at the grocery store and say, I don't have enough. I have to just get enough to eat. I'm not allowed to buy comfort food. Like you're cutting SNAP benefits. This is like, and honestly, socialism has only been a reaction in the last 100 years. Socialism only been around about 100 years to out of control capitalism. You tell me capitalism is so great? If capitalism is so great, why does the United States have 800 military bases around the world to protect it if capitalism is so great? How come the United States, if capitalism is so great, how come the United States, the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical debt? How come 50,000 or more Americans die every year because they're denied health coverage? They're denied health coverage because they don't have insurance and they're just turned away at a hospital and they die. If capitalism is so great, why do we have for-profit prison systems? Why are people in jail for smoking a plant? Why is the private prison industry backing all of these ICE raids? Because they profit from having criminals. I just don't want to hear out-of-touch billionaires tell me this. I don't want to hear it, even if you are a Bitcoiner. Like the promise of Bitcoin is that it actually helps regular people. The promise of Bitcoin is the 2.5 billion or more unbanked people in America, in the world. They don't have access to traditional banking, but they have access to a phone. And you're so scared about this. Oh, I'm leaving. Good. Maybe New York can go back to the working class. I don't know if it ever has been. It's always been run by a bunch of rich people. I shouldn't have to give back. I shouldn't have to blah, blah, blah. You just think what? You're going to go live on Elon Musk's space station? Read a history book. You always say socialism has never worked. Why? Well, socialism has worked in many countries. Why in the countries has it not worked? The countries where it didn't work, why? Oh, because the CIA usually came in and did a coup against the democratically elected leader who wanted to nationalize their oil. Oh, Mossadegh in Iran, right? That's what they want to give money to the people. And you're like, nope. And every time there's been a revolution, it's because rich people were being too greedy and hoarding their wealth. Read a history book. Socialism has failed because capitalists paid money to the usually United States government to come in and subvert it. Read about all the CIA coups. So you're in favor of the CIA? You're so full of it, man. I'm sorry. How are we going to pay for it? The same way we pay for all these wars. You never ask how we're going to pay for all these wars. Wall Street bailouts. How come Wall Street gets socialism? Whenever Wall Street tanks the economy, they don't have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They just get bailed out by the federal government. So how come people such as myself, small business owners after COVID, we're still having to pay back our SBA loans, our PPP loans? Big corporations got those loans forgiven. That's socialism. So the ruling elites get socialism. Whenever they tank the economy, they get bailed out. They got bailed out by Obama, by Bush. Bush didn't prosecute, or Obama didn't prosecute. Obama was in office longer after the recession, the 08 housing crash. He didn't prosecute the bankers like they did in Iceland. Oh boy, they got a 30% tax rate in Sweden. Yeah, and Sweden's really nice. They got good social services. They got good healthcare. They got good public transportation. They don't have homeless people all over the place. Gee, why do we have, if capitalism is so great, why are there homeless people everywhere? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Yeah, okay, yeah. Pull yourself up by your diamond-studded bootstraps on your ostrich skin boots. Go take public transportation. Go to the library to get books because you can't afford to just buy new ones on Amazon. You know, Amazon that's owned by Jeff Bezos, you know, when the CIA paid Bezos $600 million to use his servers. Oh, wait. Well, huh? What? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. Billionaires doing deals with the CIA. Great. Gee, who's on Epstein's list? Is it a bunch of working class socialists? No, it's wealthy capitalists. Weird. So only wealthy capitalists are raping and trafficking children. Weird. Sorry. Let the jacuzzi on your yacht catch your tears when Mamdani wins. And if he doesn't win, it'll be because you guys cheated. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Yeah, I'm a Bitcoin leftist. I'm a Democratic. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor, democratic socialist. That's also really big into Bitcoin. What? My little brain can't comprehend that. What team are you on? The team of truth. The team of helping people. The team of the samurai. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice. And stop your belly aching, you rich crybaby. You're just as bad as the woke liberals. You're just as bad as the woke liberals. You're just as bad as the woke liberals. Shut it. Hey, that's our show, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks everybody for supporting. Thank you, Dave Bird, over on the Rockfin. Thank you, everybody supporting me over here. Like, share, subscribe. Also go to our Patreon. It's the only place you can get the audio podcast. And have a great night, great day, wherever you're at. And thanks for watching. We'll be doing government secrets this week. That is tomorrow morning. Tune in for that and have a great day. Thanks.